Well, hello there. I've never been to the second floor. This is fantastic. You guys have so much more color here than the other floors. No, I had a quick and easy question. I've been directed from all the different city departments eventually to county. And so it's regarding a Linden Street and Jefferson Street, the Jefferson Park there. I was hoping someone had referred me to a place I could see the actual subdivision plat for that area. I'm trying to determine the right-of-way that it is in fact 100 feet. And possibly that property too. I'm just curious what you guys might have on that property.
What's that park next to what building?
It's across the street from the old Open Door Mission there.
Oh,
Linden and Jefferson.
do you know where that is?
Oh, 210 Jefferson Street
Oh,
is where the park is right now. 210 Jefferson Street. So, yeah, here's kind of a map of it. The Parks Department.
yeah, I
gave
know
me.
where you're talking about.
Yeah. So, just trying to find out as much as I can about this interesting property. Yeah, I found a subdivision plat for the construction company that's going to turn that into a parking lot. And I have like the Les Book 62 page something that might be able to help narrow down the subdivision. Anyways. Oh wow, they look at all that.
I know, I saw that.
They're all maps. Oh my god. Before the internet age, Dave. Yeah, so I've been online to your local county site. It's very, very handy.
Okay.
Shows the parcels. You can click on them and everything. So I thought that was pretty neat. Actually, that's probably what you're going to look up is the parcel number or something. Well, first and foremost, since I got you here, and you're at least familiar with these maps here, I didn't know if you could possibly answer this question. One of the issues I'm having with this particular area here is I'm trying to determine what is that strip on the south side, that on Linden Street, if that is right-of-way or if that is park. Everybody seems to tell me that it's a right-of-way, that's 100 foot, it's a sidewalk. I've seen the plats, and then like I've seen the local maps, their own jurisdictional maps and stuff, and they're all consistent. And lo and behold, to cut to the chase, there is an officer that went to a parks department and got a internal parks department map, and he claimed that he thought that was the official park boundary map. We've since gone to the parks department map and clarified that it's not the right type of map, and so we're just gathering evidence to kind of show the officer that he's supposed to know right away in the first place, kind of thing. And so some sort of I was thinking I saw and then on the city side a plat for the area, just kind of just showing general that yeah, exactly, it's kind of the but because it's like it's one thing to see the map there, but if there was an actual like a document for what is the legal property, the plat for the place.
And what are you with the city or
Kind of doing my own investigation. I'll be honest, I was ticketed on that sidewalk and lost the trial because I couldn't prepare my defenses against this person who lied a whole lot. Basically, when he first ticketed us on the street, he said he talked to the city attorney. On the stand, he said he only talked to the Parks Department. And so I never got a chance to get a hold of the Parks Department between the trial and when he ticketed me. I've since gone to the Parks Department, clarified, and I'm just gathering up information to present to him to say, hey, you might have made a mistake here. Working on an appeal type thing.
I was going to say something.
Yeah.
That's good.
So, yeah, what's so strange about it is that it's a no-brainer. Everybody on the city all seem to agree that it's the sidewalk, but they're all in kind of lawyer up mode. They don't want to officially say because they have a cop that's kind of in the middle of it all. And so they all kind of led me to all their information. I even have the leases for the place. There's really no issue with what the maps are, what the city thinks. It's just this one officer. And so if I start going to the county, I can start showing property lines and plats and stuff. I figure there's got to be something that he can show. Yeah. So I'm an independent investigator from the city, put it that way.
That's good. Good for you.
So that is something I have no problem with. So you know what? It just really that's weird.
Yeah.
Or just in there. Technically, this whole area. Actually, I think it was just that was listed as a park.
What, still
Yeah.
half is parking railroad tracks.
Exactly.
No, this thing right here. Technically, Dave, check it out. That's the actual park itself, and the parking lot is not part of it. I remember hearing from a cop saying that was something else. I think it was Bud that said
that
it.
one right there, yeah.
That's not part of the park.
Is that the railroad track right there?
And then that is the railroad track, so that did include, so that actually the actual Jefferson Park really is just on the railroad track. So the railroad company only leased it, technically, to that one. And then obviously we see this one right here. That doesn't include the railroad tracks. That is not. It just goes straight to...
So park / railroad property, both. Regardless of the parking lot. Show it straight.
It always
Megan's gonna
Sure. Thank you. Yeah, so it's very, very interesting. There's the sale of the lease transferred from the railroad company to the Linden Street Company.
Yeah.
And that only happened October 30th last year. And so they have a nice little color map, and they show definitely that it respects the 100-foot right-of-way line. And
So what's did they say you were on private property?
he said I was in the park,
And you were on this side?
and I was on the sidewalk. And
I'm sorry, that's really
well, exactly. You want to know why? You want to know why? I'll tell you
sure.
why. It's the only reason that will make sense. We were part of a protest, and we were constantly being told to move to places that were not in the park. And every time they would go look up where they'd go redefine the boundaries. And so at one point they put us on the other side of one sidewalk. Then they came back and said the whole park's closed curb to curb. And so we moved ourselves to what we knew was definitely a sidewalk, because it's a protest, and we can't just
So you
remove
have to stay in public places.
Yeah.
To protest.
Yeah, exactly. Well, our original idea was to protest the park for the homeless purposes of Jefferson Street Park being kind of tied to the homeless community as like a link. And to
So
get
now
the,
can
to
the
get
homeless go on?
well, no, they can't. They can, but we just can't be in the park after hours to protest, kind of thing. And so, basically, we were trying to at least stay as close as we could to the park without having to leave the park every night.
Yeah.
And so we figured 24 hours a day that sidewalk's open, and of course not blocking anybody's walking.
Yeah.
We were up against the fake wall there, but I was actually almost a foot away from the curb, all the way next to the street, and then same with my brother. And we won the municipal tickets because these sidewalks, even if they are in the park or not, allegedly, it doesn't matter if they're allegedly in the park or not. They weren't designated as closed themselves. So the municipal judge won't even take tickets that are being given in these sidewalks.
Oh, that's good.
But lo and behold, there were enough tickets there that eventually they started issuing tickets into the county. And then from the county, it was an unlawful conduct charge, and so it was kind of a fake court. It was like we were discussing being in a park, but we weren't in municipal court. And I couldn't, the jury instructions didn't include the actual park municipal code. So they just kind of trusted that what the cops said was true. The cops just said, we went to the parks department. And that was only half of the investigation. And so we're the other half. So, but anyways, anything helps at this point. We don't need much.
Well, good luck with it.
Thank you. So we're my brother Dave, and my name Will.
Hello.
My name's Will.
Hello.
Sorry, really excited. We're from the city of Fort Collins. We're born and raised here. Love this place, except for a couple of inconsistencies we've started to find. And so,
Just a couple?
just a couple calls, nothing big, no. Basically, we're snipping up a investigation that the city has failed to do themselves because they are it. They're kind of part of it now.
Because they are what?
They are it. They are part of the investigation themselves. They're kind of what we're investigating now. And in a nutshell, I was telling this kind ma'am here, basically, we were on a sidewalk and ticketed as if we were in a park. We were told the park boundaries extended to the sidewalk, and that the cop went to the Parks Department. Didn't think he had to go anywhere else. That's what he claimed. That's what he claimed later in trial, by the way. He actually, on the ground when he ticketed us, said he talked to the city attorney and everything. So we're finding, obviously, that maybe he didn't talk to the city attorney. And so we actually went to talk to the Parks Department. Couldn't even get the original map that he used. Got this facilities and trails map, and basically have been comparing everything against all of our stuff that we have. We have the plats for it, we have the fcmaps.com, we have the county maps. All of it's consistent. It's a 100-foot right of way, and so we've never had any issue. It's just this one rogue cop with this one rogue map, and we're just trying to squash it anywhere we can find. So here we are. We were directed from all the city people to the county to get, hopefully, if you guys are cool enough, just a subdivision plat, and I have like a less book 62 page something that I can refer to, hopefully, that I found on a smaller plat to show the general area, and then maybe the property lease or something for the actual Jefferson Park itself, and see if it's the same one that I got from their department.
Okay.
Basic stuff, simple.
Well, yeah, the book and page would be helpful. I'm thinking it's changed so much. It's that combination of all those lots.
It was.
The legal is just, it was done by deed. I'm thinking Jefferson Park might be in the old books is what I'm thinking. Quite possibly.
In our old books.
What is the section township in there?
12, 7, 16.
12, 7, 16.
You want the number?
Oh, that's the little block of land to see the map. Yeah, the township area. Yes, that would be the perfect place to start, and then
Section 12.
just see a blow up of the area. And because I've determined now, after talking to the Texas Services, by the way, that the city came first, then the railroad company. They sold that property to the railroad company. They invited them in, saying it's one of the weird situations. Most of the time, the railroad comes first,
and then leased it back.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Thank you.
And so, basically, we're finding a whole bunch of consistent information, which is the whole point. And we're just trying to find something to.
Railroad, so that we have a deed from the railroad to the city.
I had that too.
Okay.
Last year, it was sold
Yeah,
on
okay.
October 30th. So I got almost everything.
Oh, okay.
I just needed to see if there was maybe an actual
Yeah.
plat for
Yeah.
the place,
Well,
or just
surrounding
anything,
area,
whatever you
I
guys
think-
got. It's more than what I got from you.
I have our current maps, but online, but
Is it the maps.larimer.org/LIO, the land
Yes,
information locator?
yes.
Perfect. Already been there. All
okay.
consistent.
You
Seen
need
that.
the old.
Yeah, I'm looking for like the official paper record of what everyone refers to when they go to court. You know, I hate to say that, which would be something as the old-fashioned records, basically.
Let's see.
And I hate to feel like it's like the cop that he's not doing his job, so I kind of got to go do his job for him. Do his homework.
Well,
So.
he doesn't want to be.
He doesn't want to be wrong.
He doesn't want to be. Yeah.
And there's believe me, from a psychological perspective, Dave and I have analyzed the ego and how it doesn't collapse in lies, perjury. We've caught him perjuring, in court already. So we're onto something. We just don't know where to go. It's never happened before in our own hometown. So we were just really shocked to get a ticket in a sidewalk. Quite
Yeah,
frankly.
what are you doing?
Well, to be honest, it was an Occupy Jefferson protest, and we had been told to move several places, every time being okay, and then they later would tell us it's illegal. And so we eventually moved everyone to a sidewalk because we thought for sure with all the information we have, and so far so good. It's just that one map, and like I said, I even went back to the Parks Department, and they can't even refurnish it. They can't even. So it's this rogue map that they have that doesn't even exist, and I'm excited because I get to talk to you guys and find out the real stuff. I've never seen these old books.
Not, yeah.
And this is amazing.
Yeah.
For where the paper really takes us.
You know what? we don't really.
It might take a while.
Sometimes really have all that.
No, it's okay.
Of our records ourselves, 69,711.
Oh, so this is just the table of contents, or?
Our parcel numbers associated with, let's see, the north half of the southwest quarter.
Before the computer came around.
Here's section 12.
Okay, so there's the river. Trying to figure out where the streets are. There's the railroad. Oh, wait, there's Linden Tech Center. But
A little too foreign for me. Darn it.
Alright, so city limits of Fort Collins. Buckingham and adjacent land being southeast of the northwest line, north of, east of.
And it's a little west of the river, just a little bit. It might even be somewhere like over here if that's to the river.
Well, let me just keep looking. I'm not really sure. Lincoln Greens. Let's see. No, that would be too far. You're in.
South.
Yeah, you were.
We way up there. Is the Linden Tech Center south of Linden Street?
Well, the Linden Tech Center doesn't even. I don't even know what's there now. We'll have to get a current map. Because Linden Street has changed so much.
Yeah, over the years.
So in section 12. Okay, so Riverside LeMay. That's too
closer.
far.
That's a little too far south, though. Yeah.
Yeah, that is too far south. So
Maybe we'll just have to refer to the digital versions of whatever we got.
okay, you were on Jefferson.
Yeah, Linden Street.
You were on
sidewalk.
Linden.
Yeah, because
Well, right across from the old Jefferson Park, or it is Jefferson Park.
it's it's the sidewalk that's adjacent to the park itself, butts up against it on that side. So if you're looking at the park from across the street from the Open Door Mission,
yeah.
So there you are from the Open Door Mission. You're looking forward. It's just that strip. This one we definitely know is in the park, even though it's still illegal to get someone on the sidewalk in the park. We still found it. But it is a 30-foot vacated right away. These used to be 100 feet, and then they vacated 30 feet. So that is officially, technically park boundary. So that's never been the issue there. It was that they literally said that this park went here to here, just there, not even to the end of the actual property line for the township walk, just to the railroad ties, and then up, and then curved a little, and then came and then curved around there. So it's like a curved round, including a sidewalk, not going over railroad tracks, kind of park boundary. That I just couldn't buy it, And then when I started talking to the streets department, they're like, "Well, that's a sidewalk." And then I talked to another department, they're like, "Well, those things, that doesn't close."
Well,
So.
that looks like that's a building.
Oh no, that's a sidewalk. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, that is a sidewalk.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
oh,
just the way.
okay.
Yeah.
No,
But yeah, this is just a service map, so it's not boundary related.
well, no, this is a current.
But yeah, the yellow technically has always been correct, and that's what we're always after. Is the yellow matches the green for what the park really is, especially on their FC maps.
Did you bring the map that? Oh, the cop wouldn't surrender that map.
He didn't give it. I couldn't get it from them today, and it's buried away somewhere in my paperwork right now from all the trials and stuff. I'm trying to find it.
It is evidence.
So I got it from a trial because it wasn't actually accepted as evidence from their standpoint. They submitted it, and they just submitted it for demonstrative purposes. They got away with, but then it ended up in my hands at the end of the trial, so I held on to it. But then I can't find it. So.
Oh, bummer.
But it's yeah, exactly. Isn't that the funniest thing? The cop showed it to me that night. I can't go to the Parks Department and get another copy. But yeah, it was very strange. It showed red to show kind of the railroad
Well,
company's
this would have
property.
been a less out. Let me just go pull. You have the current deed.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And the
You probably
current
have-
deed is for that long rectangular strip there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
This thing
Yes.
being railroad company originally, just to the side, up against it, was the property that got leased to the city as a park, and then has since been sold to Linden Street Holdings to
Okay,
continue
okay.
that lease as a park.
Okay.
And so it's always been the same. It's always been in fact, actually, if I show you right here.
Okay. So when did we create the sidewalk is what you really need to know. When
Exactly. So
that right of way was. Okay.
yeah, which has always been designed by the city. It's plats came first, then the properties got sold out. And so I know. See what I mean? We're arguing the silliest stuff ever because a cop can't admit he's wrong.
Oh no.
You know.
Well, no.
So-
Oh my gosh, no.
So here's the actual stuff that was emailed to the city manager a month after this happened, by the way. So it's kind of strange to go to trial when you guys all got informed. But so it was sold up to the sidewalk, but not including it.
And you were standing
I was standing just outside of it.
right there
Right. Yep. On the actual,
With
about
your-
10 feet away from the actual.
with your sign.
With my sign, or I had a bike with me at the time. We were just hanging out. Yeah, exactly. And then so the original lease.
And so you said
is
you didn't have to
this.
leave, or because you're on public property.
I said, yeah.
Yeah.
I said I went to the streets department. They told me sidewalks don't close unless they're marked, which they can, for
Oh.
construction purposes. Or,
Oh.
there's
Oh, that,
there's
yeah.
permanent encroachments,
Oh.
encroachment permits, things like that. But yeah, so the original lease obviously only included up to the sidewalk too. And so, why am I having to do all the cops' homework? Beats me. I don't mind. It's pretty fun. I love the reactions I get from people like you that are like, well, it's a sidewalk. What do
What'd you find?
It's probably a sidewalk.
Show me. I want to see.
We're still looking.
Well, I mean, this
But-
is this is so old that none of this has even barely been annexed.
It's
into-
probably going to be
And Linden
easier to
Street,
Pretty awesome.
Linden Street,
Word,
is, stopped going across the square a long, long time ago.
Oh, you mean that was actually connected
Linden Street used to
Went
go through the square
to Mountain?
to Mountain. Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
I could actually see that now. That is an
Yeah.
actual road
Oh wow, really?
Yeah.
through Old Town
All
Square.
through the old house.
Yeah, and it was
That's cool. I
it
didn't
was
know that.
cool.
Huh. I guess they had to turn something into downtown, though.
So then you're
So yeah, I figured
You're
if there was
right.
anything to find on here,
you're right around here. It would have had to have been right around here. Because the railroad tracks cross
Is this which is north, south, and west?
north should always be this way.
Okay, that's that way.
So that's north.
So the railroad company would have his thing going that way. So this is similar area, probably, or at least from another railroad coming in. There's a lot of railroads in this town. They definitely knew what they were
Okay,
doing.
well, alright, so anyway.
Yeah, if there's nothing physical, I figured.
No, there's
Is-
something that
you know-
we can use, we can pull that less out. There's gotta be.
I figured something like
city-
this, but for that area, to show the actual parcels that what they're sold by, what the right of way is.
Well, that's
Kinda
what all
like an
this
over-
old stuff is, all these old.
Oh, okay. Oh,
things.
okay.
They're all listed.
We're all kind of the same.
But I'm
area.
trying to
Okay.
look for where it's just, okay, so.
Yeah, it's like how many different ways can you prove that the ball is red? Also, if you look at that line right there. See how that line goes, and then curves in?
Yeah.
It's not a very well drawn line. I hardly doubt that that would be a border line.
Yeah.
Borders are usually extremely accurate.
Yeah.
It kind of looks like a hand drawn. This is our service boundary.
So it actually looks like a service map.
But I can,
So does the parcel number ever change? Is it always called that number, even if it changes hands from the railroad company?
Hands doesn't make it change the parcel number, but many things make it change the parcel number.
Oh, so the parcel number can change.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. I always thought it was tied. Interesting. I'm sure there's always bureaucratic reason.
Oh yeah, the parcel number can change, and so this is everything in section 12. It's gotta be. What is your booking page that you want?
Let's see here. This was on a. There it is. Yeah, so this is a new construction plan for the parking lot, Linden Street parking lot. Just kind of their plat for the area, Jefferson.
Right, we
Brandon.
got.
And so this is the best thing I have ever found yet. So it says Linden Street, 100-foot public right of way per city, plat 4 columns. And then that's what I'm really after. That actually says Les Book 1680, page 64.
Okay.
And we found that. That would be the juiciest clue I've found yet.
Oh, okay.
I mean, that's what I'm after.
For you.
If is that a standard? You guys know the Les Book title and what that means?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm in the right department.
Yeah.
Les Book
Well, you
1680,
can come and sit down
page
at
64.
my desk and I'll get that.
Oh, sure. Because that's what they referred to, and they own the property now, so I figure that's probably the best.
Yeah. Okay. So.
Oh, is it official now? Les Book 1680.
Is that what you just looked up there?
She's looking that up here.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. Those, yeah, just 2 of them. Wow, so roomy back here. You'll just hang out up there. He's my brother. We spend more than enough time together.
He's tired of you.
Yeah, me and my little homework assignments.
I mean, I pulled the same thing, what you call these, what you have.
Oh yeah. What? Yeah, exactly. It's
I mean, it's the same thing that's online that you go and look at all the time.
the LIL.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Land
So
information.
that's
Yeah,
that.
So you should have all of that.
Mm-hmm. Is there a that actual Les Book or like a physical page or?
There is. There should be a recorded document with that book and page.
Oh, so do you guys do City Docs or is there an online database
we
that's okay?
So it's book 1680, page 64.
1680, page 64. Yep.
Oh, 16.
1680.
Yeah.
Les Book 1680. Is there a county docs website, or is kind of everything through City Docs? Do you know?
Well,
Or is City Docs connecting to a
the
bigger
City Docs
database?
should record all kinds of things whenever they make a change, like they're going to take a
that-
right away or they're going to vacate.
Yeah,
or-
those are all the
So
documents they put up.
those are all recorded downstairs, so we have access to them.
Oh, it's okay. So it's kind of a joint effort to have both have access to the same
Well,
servers.
yeah,
So
because
everything that gets approved citywide has to go through the county.
because we manage the property. We have the account numbers for those parcels of land. So
Oh,
if we have to make a change.
It's the other way around. County's the master, and they have to work with county because it's all in the county's land.
Well, for some
In a
things,
way.
I mean, they are home ruled.
Yeah, exactly, and for their city limits. So, I guess it's weird to think about it backwards. So you guys deal with everything, and well, fantastic. I figured the county would have something with land.
So this is an ordinance vacating certain streets and parts of roads and certain alleys in the city of Fort Collins and granting to Union Pacific Railroad Company. So I wonder, the right to lay, maintain, operate a double track gauge railroad. I don't know. I can print it for you. I don't,
Is that Les Book 1680, page 64?
It is book BK
I guess I was thinking of a picture of it, but it's all the legal jargon. Okay, if it matches up, I can take this to a surveyor. That's perfect. Yeah, absolutely. If you can print that by any chance. I'm learning how to read survey jargon too, so it's always fun. You know, you can get degrees and stuff. Exactly. Because well, the whole point is that the cop didn't believe me that I went to any of these departments, but I was like, I'm going to the departments that already have their surveyors and stuff. So you don't believe my surveyor because he's just not here. But you should be able to walk 100 feet, or at the very least, I'm going to have to hire someone to walk 100 feet. So. But it's okay. I don't mind. Yeah, if that sounds like the full legal description of the area.
Block 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 in the city of Fort Collins.
This would be.
The same are hereby abandoned and vacated.
Yep, those are the railroad
Northerly
ones.
line of Linden Street along the southwesterly line of Block 7 across Pine Street. You can just look at this whole document.
Yep, absolutely. It'll tell me exactly where. I will figure it out. I have a computer background, so code is it's life code now. I can get it now. So, but
I don't know if you need them more.
left and right, I'm sure.
Oh.
Can't it be simple? No, I found this one property that the line, it was outside of a park, so we could use places trying to stay out of trouble. They ticketed us as if we were in the park. We were actually completely outside regardless, but during the process we were researching, found out that the property line changes with the water level. So if the water is low, that's how far the property goes. If the water goes high, that's where the property goes. It just goes to the river. We were in a strip of land that was outside of city limits. That it looked like we were outside that because the water level was low.
Yeah,
So
but
we got fooled.
yeah, no, because somebody does own the ground under the river, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
right.
So but it wasn't in the park. It was in a public area, so just fun.
I mean, have fun with this. This is his best.
No, that's perfect. If that's exactly what this is, that less page 64, I was thinking it was a map or something.
No,
but it's an actual
it's
legal
a book.
description.
It's a book where they recorded it in this book in that
Official
page.
legal thing.
Okay.
Perfect. Well, that has a date of being used on this thing when it got sold. And that's last year, so that is the most accurate information we have yet. Oh, this is juicy. Thank you very much.
Oh, have
Thank you.
fun.
The county.
Appreciate it.
Man. Let's just put it this way: we've been trying to crack homeless discrimination in this town for about a year.
Crack the homeless.
Crack the homeless discrimination.
Oh, discrimination.
That is going on. It's
Oh.
hard to catch, and
Oh.
so that's probably one of the problems why it's going on is that the people, the yuppies, we call them. I don't want to say that negatively, but the people that don't know about it never see it, and it's all happening behind the scenes, under the
By the
table.
cops.
And so Dave and I kid you not, over the last year, have had 11 trials now. We've won 9 of them. We lost 2 of them, but one was just for sleeping. You can't really get out of that, but you can argue it or appeal. And then the other one was being in this park when I'm not in this park. And so every single time that we get ticketed, they say, save that for court. When we're like, we have maps, or save that for court. And so they discriminate, they lie in
The
court.
whole point is we wanted to be upstanding, kind of stay out of their way and try to work with it.
That's why you were on the sidewalk.
Yeah, and that's why we're using maps.
Pretty much, yeah.
And so every chance that we get, we exercise rights, but because we're down on our luck, we lost our jobs and places all at the same time, they think they don't even have to have due process, so as soon as they see us sleeping somewhere, oh, I got one. And then they don't do their most basic jurisdiction math of checking to see if we're actually in their park. And so we've caught them 3 or 4 times now thinking we're in their parks, but not.
They're gonna get to know you guys.
They know us.
Yeah.
Oh, they
They're
do.
starting to get to know us now.
So
we go on city council
and you guys
raise
haven't
hell
been
every
here
once in a
for
while.
all that long.
Born and
you
raised here.
Our whole lives.
Yeah, it's our own hometown. It's where we get so.
You said that the very first
We're
thing.
not.
That's right.
We're not too pleased about that one.
Yeah, we were pushed out into homelessness by the 3 unrelated rule. Dale
Oh, yeah.
Wood
Too expensive for housing.
misfined our house, and the 3 roommates got out of it. We were slapped with the fine of $71,000 each.
Yeah, they didn't know how to ticket us correctly, so we exercised our rights to an eviction that they tried not to give us. They tried to use the fines to get us out first. And so the joke, as Dave and I call it, is how many people does it take to break a 3 unrelated?
How many?
Usually it takes 4, right? 2. And he ticketed just my brother and
So it wasn't even a 3 on
It wasn't even a real law.
It was jail.
And so we spent 3 months on
Screwing
the
up.
streets trying to put together this big motion to dismiss and complaint, which got granted, so we didn't have to lose all this money frivolously. But as we're doing that, we happen to suck up needing places to sleep. And so
They
we
pick
got
us up,
ticketed
move us
faster than we
along,
could
waste
find
our
a place.
time, Pick us up, move us along, waste our time until you were put us around that we end up slowly coming out of it.
Yeah, we have a van now, so we're able to hide that's blocked out so we can sleep without getting interrupted. And so they've been ticketing us less. We've been figuring out our due process faster than they've been ticketing us. And we're almost done with our complaint. But we only have about 2 trials left. We've won the first 9. And so it's
have
coming
you-
to a very sweet ending.
I hope so, because you haven't come across a crooked judge yet, because you know we have them.
Oh, no, I have, believe me.
Oh, yeah.
That's,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Already adding 1 or 2
remember
big to
a
the
couple
complaint
years
there.
ago when those 2 got slapped on the
Yep.
head?
Well, you want to know what this is all about. David and I kid you not, I was wrongfully convicted by that same person 12 years ago,
Yeah.
Judge Blair.
Yeah.
By the time she became a judge, she basically convinced me to pay for crimes I didn't even do, and I didn't even think to do appeals or anything like that. So I'm basically 12 years into this mess. He's my only witness. I kind of told everything to him a couple years ago. He kind of went down. No one believed him. No one believed me, and so that's why we ended up trying to save money for rent as we're trying to figure out our legal problems, and it's realizable happens and all that.
Oh my
So we're trying to close about 20 loops
I mean,
of illegal
double
behavior.
proof, because she was
So.
caught in something else entirely.
Yeah.
Oh my
So.
God.
Yeah, our
They
Mormon
never
fan-
got closed, and the DA never.
They can't, can they?
The DA never pursued it. There were 3 other people that had committed crimes.
They let it run out.
Our
Yep.
Mormon family.
Public defender didn't even know what to do, and basically I got
Our
forced.
Mormon family doesn't call 911 on anything.
Yeah, that's the problem. Is we were excommunicated from our Mormon family when we were kids. So they live in the
No
same
help,
town,
yeah.
and they don't really know how to help us without injecting their religion in it. So it's a very strange relationship, but it's working because, worst case scenario, we asked for some help and we were able to get the van, and so there are baby steps between my parents and I. But on the other side, it's just a little disturbing that they see these things and we go back to them for help, and they only give us help after it's been something as obvious as we were kidnapped off a sidewalk.
Yeah,
I need
we
to be
were
bonded
actually
out of jail.
asking for a couch just
Help.
long before this happened. and now we
It could have prevented it. A lot of little help along the way. But it's bittersweet since we were wrongfully convicted our whole lives and we have nothing left to lose. City comes along, tries to literally kick us out of our own hometown, saying we can't afford to pay rent or stay in the shelters.
Part of helping him, like we were still even trying to get to lawyers, and you need to even know what to talk about. So the string of events basically falsified an accusation of my job assaulted, then put on psychiatric drugs, never gotten any payouts for side effects. Next job was grab a burger place that broke my back, didn't pay out women's comp, and then slowly got some between not getting help, ended up in the city, San Routine.
No one wants to help, no one's
We're
helping.
gonna honestly sue for $150 each.
So there's like 40
Really
unresolved
upset.
torts or lawsuits of people wronging us and pushing us off to the next victim to make it easier to
Everyone
wrong
just
us.
tells us to let it
and
go.
to the point
so
where
it's like, what's it to let
Yeah.
go to?
Yeah. So ironically, it came down to the city thought that we looked homeless enough to start ticketing, and when it happens over sleep, and we need sleep for our lawsuits, he basically sealed the deal, and all of the fake lawsuits, now their due process gets sucked up into the city's tickets, because it's all
And
the same
it's all
thing.
witness tampering us from getting back.
Meaning the whole reason I'm needing to get sleep that they're ticketing my sleep for is because I've had such been wrongfully treated before, and so the whole point is that if you tort somebody who is a victim of a previous tort of violence, and then you tort them and you're violent, if that previous tort hasn't been dealt with, you add your tort value into that, and you actually multiply it so that it's like you are extra bad now. You get an extra bad punishment for
It's like your
hurting
friend
somebody that
gets-
was already hurt.
It's like your friend gets hit by a drunk driver and he breaks his leg, and you're roughing a housing with him, and then you break his leg again, and now you're kind of tacked on to the liability.
Yeah,
So
but in that
each
case, you're
time
rough
we
housing.
didn't get to help in time. Witness tampered, wasted our time, picked us up again, and sucked up everything.
Yeah. So it's really weird. There's no formal education we have. I'm really good with computers, though, and I'm really good with law because I'm wrongfully convicted. And so the city comes along and tries to tort us, and we're like, well, we're in the middle of our lawsuits, so you just interrupted us with more lawsuits. Okay, sure. Add you on. And so now we have over 30 cops, felonies left and right. 27 actual events where we've been discriminated against.
A couple in Denver.
You know, even in Denver.
That's
Yeah, absolutely, and we're
because
excited.
the law is difficult.
Oh, it's complicated.
It is complicated.
It is. Well, what we found is that there's no more checks and balances, and I just got wrongfully convicted because it was an emotional court and a cop's reputation, and I didn't know I needed to fight those. I just had facts. I had my deeds and plaques and stuff. And I'm like, I guess that's only half the battle. But we're gonna basically, when we write this complaint out, gonna explain how the DAs only prosecute and they don't defend. The public defenders don't do a very good job with their actual defenses. I've already fought with the judges. So if we just explain it all, maybe we might see some reform. That's what we're wondering. So,
It's about 4,000 pages.
of all the
Stack it
exhibits,
on ours.
paperwork, everything, I have like 20 folders in my tablet of just exhibits. So here's some more.
So-
And so well, we're so excited about this. Really, thank you for the help. Is that this is the first chance we've seen any due process go in the other direction for what we've been trying to catch dirty cops. And so no Parks Department. There's no map from the Parks Department. We checked. Basically, the cop said he didn't think he needed to go check any departments, and look at all this
Both,
information from all the other departments.
You're too
So-
stupid, you're not going to do anything, you'll never pursue it in the car, you made it too obvious.
Too easy.
Really obvious.
So it's we don't even know where to go. City council. What we're gonna end up doing is a really, really, really big counter complaint that we send to all the different institutions all at once, because there's other like DORA, Department of Education. All these institutions do investigations, and also we're kind of asking for a right to sue the city, and that we have to have them look at the cases first. But basically we're getting ready to drop a bureaucratic atomic bomb that is going to stop this city in its tracks and have to reverse investigate all of this fraud that we've caught.
Great.
So, thank you for
Alright.
listening, by the way. Thank you for being
Well,
helpful.
good
County has
luck.
always been better than city. Don't tell them I
Yeah,
said
we
that.
haven't found any bad sheriffs. It seems to be more calls.
Sure.
Yeah, county-wide.
I
Seem
went
to be
other-
more in the dark of what we're finding out.
Hmm.
But I knew that there was
Good luck.
something with county, because you guys deal with all the property.
Well, I mean, and old plat maps. I don't know what.
That's okay.
Yeah.
There's honestly, your website is probably going to be sufficient.
Yeah.
I see it. I use it. Parcels are there.
Actually, I used some one trial, I want to know for that.
Yeah. So we actually got him on the stand saying that there was a separate tract of land that was just the sidewalk that wasn't part of the railroad company's lease property.
Yeah.
That became Jefferson Park with it one day, and it just was the most incoherent answer we've ever seen. It for like, so where's the deed for this plat, or where's the legal documentation for
If
this?
the cop gave us a real legal, we would follow it. If it like your car on the side of a highway or something, like help us pull this man or beat the cars, anything like that. But when he came up to us, he just said you need to walk around the sidewalk over there.
All
blah, blah,
random
blah.
stuff.
Really lynchy stuff to try to like treat us like we're stupid. That way.
Yeah, and so we look at the sidewalk and we're like, there's not anything that notates this part of us park, and with that we won those trials. And now we were finding out that it's not even in a park. And maybe, this is something that an officer should have known at the very beginning. I don't know what,
Especially a
what
sergeant.
cops are supposed to know, but right-of-way law is pretty basic.
Right-of-ways and paved streets, I don't know.
Is-
I guess it can vary, but.
Yeah, I mean, I understand the situation probably doesn't happen very often to call something in on it, but
It's pretty rare.
yeah. But it's easy to learn. It's like Cop 101. It's like the first day in class. You just go talk to your local. Like I said, I talked to all the city officials. They just don't know how to not lawyer up because it's getting sticky and they don't want to be liable and stuff. But the funny thing is, in their own downfall, is that every time they lawyered up, they actually sort of required me to go do more homework to end up kind of convicting them. So if they don't want the glory, fine, I will take it. So thank you very much, man. It's been a privilege.